Oh, welcome one and all. Welcome to the LowLandLions Weekly, your weekly Starcraft II recap show. I'm your host, Martijn, aka Mumbles. And, of course, my usual hoodlums are here as well, Maven and Folon. Good to see you guys here again, Maven. Any first words while we kick the show off?
No.
No? Happy to be here? Happy to be here. Are you, Maven?
Happy as always. Yeah, I'm always happy to be here, man.
That's more like it. Folon, any words before anything else? I heard you were actually making a list of things to point out that the community was wrong and you were right. Is that true?
Yeah, sort of. Do we have to? Are we gonna do that? Because just introduce our special guest first, maybe.
Yeah, we'll give you your soapbox later. First off, of course, we got a special guest here today. We got Kevin, aka Rotterdam. Of course, very well known as a Warcraft 3 pro. That's where I know him from. Of course, caster for the IEM World Championship, I believe, in Sabid coming up. Hey man, it's good to see you.
Yeah, that is correct. IEM World Championship Finals. It's nice to be here, and hopefully I will be able to give you guys some useful information and hype the event a little bit because I'm pretty excited for it.
Well, before we get to business, quick few announcements. There's a Western Digital giveaway going on Facebook still. You just go to Facebook, which I will actually do for you guys on air because we can. You search WD UK, hit enter. Ta-da! Awesome. You go to photos because you can, and there we go. Just click the WD Velociraptor contest. It asks you to describe in 3 words what Western Digital makes you think about. So pretty much, we've got a lot of submissions now. There's 50, 60. There's one of these being given away the 28th, so that's in 4 days, and there's like 60 sign-ups. So you post 3 words on that, and you've got a 1 in 60 chance of actually winning one of those WD Velociraptors. So actually do that. Don't be a fool. Take your chance and actually get that done. Second announcement, of course, there's going to be another LowLandLions 1v1 Cup, the 26th of March. There will be a grand number 1 first place prize, which is as I stall for time while I look it up, €100 plus a PC 360 headset, which is actually the exact same headset I'm wearing right now. It's about another 200, I think. Second place is a Sennheiser Sports headphone. Third place, a PureTech Talent mousepad. So, you guys, that is going to be open up to sign-ups, so €100 and hardware for the first prize. So, hope some of you guys actually sign up for that. That said, here we go. Rotterdam, I gotta say, man, it's exciting to get you on the show. I've been a Rotterdam fan for quite a bit, and well, I don't mind admitting that. I mean, you were always a player that was so solid, but you weren't grubby.
I know. That's a dark line throughout my career. I wasn't grubby, but I did manage to beat him now and then, so it's okay. I had my moments of fame, and I'm pretty proud of what I achieved in Warcraft 3, even when I wasn't grubby.
I gotta say, you were quite well known it was especially within the Dutch community, of course. So I've always been wow, this Rotterdam. That said, Starcraft II is your new game. How is Carmack faring? Do you have to give him beatings yet, or is there positive, negative reinforcements? Does he get a candy if he actually manages to execute a play well, or what's going on with that?
Well, I would give him a candy every time he would actually listen to me. I think then we would have some major improvement. But I really have to visit him a bit more often, because when he keeps playing at his own pace, he just doesn't really listen to me. So it's one problem, because the things I say to him make no sense, and he will just forever keep making zealots, even though his Terran opponent already has dropships with medevacs, and he just keeps swapping in zealots. So it's a slow process, but there is some progress, and I guess that's what matters.
Well, I'm glad he's getting somewhere. Of course, Carmack is awesome, but not much of a StarCraft 2 player. So, if you guys are wondering, of course, that's talking about the Rotterdam University show that ESL that you've been running. To teach a ex-Quake Live, well, can we call him a pro? An ex-Quake Live player, at least. Teach him StarCraft. It's quite a fun little venture. So if you do have time, just Google that. I'm sure it'll pop up.
What I do think is quite nice as well. Like, for instance, I'm far from like a really good right now, but there are quite some people out there giving coaching lessons right now, and I would actually consider quite many of those players quite inferior to myself. Like, I'm not that good, but I'm like 3,700 points Master League, so basically it's free coaching for everyone who's basically interested and wants to learn a few things and who's playing on a lower level. I think it's worth checking out the show instead of actually paying someone to make you better.
Mm-hmm. Can you teach me how to beat Protoss?
There is no beating Protoss.
What race are you?
I'm Terran, goddammit.
I didn't know it was you, Maven. Well, there's so much heat. I think you should start off with playing against Carmack. I think
Oh, zing!
Alright, we're so gonna have a grudge match after this, you know.
Oh,
I'm gonna cheese the hell out of you.
That's fine.
Down.
That's fine, man. It's all good.
Gauntlets off.
That said, I will actually try an advertisement towards our next little topic and play a little video here.
Hey, Alex.
Which is totally not playing.
Hey, man. What are you doing here? I was hungry.
There we go.
Hey, Alex. Kevin. Hey, man. What are you doing here? I was hungry, so I decided to get some food. But €7, man.
Not
€7.
much, not much. But guess what?
There's a much better way to spend those
Absolutely.
€7. 5 days of CBIT, HD quality, streaming, pro gaming, the best games. Now that's bargain, baby.
Yep, that's a bargain, baby. IEM World Championships coming up, and I gotta say, it's gonna be a blast watching Rotterdam Day 9, and of course TLO bringing that to us live. Let's get
I'm
straight
just gonna
to the
say
point.
something.
Oh, Maven, go right ahead.
Rotterdam, if you ever stop casting, you'll be a perfect car seller. Just so you know.
It's like the best advertisement. It's like the parking lot of a McDonald's. It's so good.
I have to admit it wasn't my idea, but they just use me for all kinds of videos, and it's my job, so what can I do? I can't say no, but I like it. It's good to have some fun, I guess.
Use and abuse, apparently.
You pull it off though. Like if I was getting some food at a McDonald's and people were like, "Dude, we're gonna film a commercial now," I'd be like, "Fuck that, man!" But you're like, you pull it off, so that's pretty good.
Yeah, what can I say? Wasn't my highlight of my career, but it's fun to do some kind of stuff. And I did get the message over, so I guess that's most important.
Yep, I mean €7. Actually, for IEM, I think that's a decent price. We see a lot of events lately where they're charging too much or they're charging too little. Like at first, GSL was a huge problem because they charged way too much. Then it became far more reasonable, and honestly, I think IEM got their price range pretty much right for what the event is.
And we'll really stream for a long time. Like I just got the schedule today, and I have to be at the event every day at 7. No, we don't start at 7, but I think we start roughly at 9 every day. But you have to make sure, and every day it's like from 9 till 5 or 6. So it's really going to be lots of Starcraft, lots of Quake, and lots of CS. And also, I think worth mentioning is that it's going to be in so many different languages. So if you don't want to watch it in English, I think there will be like a Russian stream, Polish stream, German stream. So it's really going to be quite sick. I think it's a good offer.
And Maven, I hear you're actually going to be streaming as well. I'm not allowed to say that.
No.
Oh, okay. Well, then not.
Maybe. I don't know.
Anyway, carrying right along.
Anyway.
Carrying right along. Pretend I never said that. So carrying right along. IEM World Championship. I guess the biggest news this week, at least, is that Sock is going to be replacing Demu, the Muslim, Ben. So Rotterdam, what happened between you and him? And did it really have to come to the beating? I mean, couldn't you just have had harsh words with him, or?
Well, it had nothing to do with me. If anything, I was his guardian angel, his medevac. I just picked him up a little bit too late, and yeah, he unfortunately hit the ground. Yeah, it's really sad. I just heard that news today. Actually, I had good hopes that he would have made it all along, but he went to the hospital 2 days ago, and apparently he had another fracture, like somewhere in his wrist. So it was really And he also said himself, I just spoke with him, he's like, if I make a comeback, I want my comeback to be really good. He's like, I don't want to come back and lose every game 2-0 and then come with the excuse that I couldn't practice the last 3 weeks and blah, blah. So he said, like, I think it's better for me to skip the event, which is really sad, obviously, because the Muslim, even though he's like quite an achieved Warcraft 3 player as well, he never really had like his extreme moment of fame, you know, he's never won like a big tournament, and this would have been a really, would have been a nice opportunity. Only 12 players, and in the shape he was before he injured his hand, he was actually playing really damn well. I was watching him all day since I lived with him together, and he was just destroying almost everyone on ladder, and that consisted of like the best players in Europe. Even some of them are at this tournament, so yeah, it's a sad story, but what do you do? It's life.
Yep, what can you do? What can you do? So I guess it wasn't domestic abuse after all.
So what group Sock is gonna be in? The group that Damu was in, right? So
Which show?
Yeah, it's Group B, together with Phoenix, Moonglade, Show, Moon, and Squirtle.
Still gonna be a tough group for Saki as well.
Apparently Squirtle is German, according to Extreme Masters, so.
That's something that I gotta say. Rotterdam, do you also who's responsible for the information that ends up on the website of the Intel Extreme Masters?
Well, that's definitely not me. We have a special team for that working at the office. But yeah, they do seem to mix a couple of flags up now and then.
A special team of monkeys? I mean...
I don't think I can say that about my colleagues.
No, I just remember last week we had the note. We noticed that QXC was spelled with a Z instead of a C, and now we see the flags getting mixed up quite a bit. So
perhaps you guys should apply. You never know. You can move to Germany as well.
Yeah, I'll come to Germany for you.
Oh. Not for casting, for you. That's
yeah.
I'm taking that as way something else. Anyway, low shot. Speaking of course, the Korean invites. Well, sorry, the invites have gone out. We see Moon, Squirtle, Ace, and Hydra. I gotta say, I'm a little disappointed with the Koreans that they did get. I'll be honest. I was hoping for bigger.
Yeah, no. Well, I can totally understand that. We did absolutely the same. We tried everything to get the Code S players over here. I installed the Korean client one day because there was a plan that they would play GSL from Germany just one time online. I played against a couple of the Koreans. I even played against Nesty. It made my little nerd inside quite happy. I was pretty proud of myself, even though I got destroyed, but it was a nice experience. Nice experience playing against Nesty. It was pretty laggy, but to be honest, I didn't feel that it was like completely unplayable. But I made movies about it, and I sent them to the Korean admins, and they didn't want to get the risk of losing all their star players in the round of 16 in Codes GZL. So they decided, no, we're not going to send anyone from Codes. So we could only pick the Code A players. And nevertheless, I do think the Code A players that did get picked are pretty damn good, and I'm quite looking forward to see them in action. But yeah, obviously everyone else would have rather seen MVP, MC, Nesty. And little ironic, MVP actually lost, so if we would have waited 2 more days, we could have got MVP after all, which was one of the original players we wanted to, but yeah, that's a little unfortunate.
I see. Well, at least with Moon, you have a lot of star quality in the roster, and then Squirtle is one of the Code A players that is really performing lately, so who knows, he's definitely going to give these guys a run for their money.
Yeah,
I think he's playing tomorrow, isn't he?
I'm not sure. I'm not
sure.
I'm not super into GSL. Obviously, I do watch it, but I would lie if I say that I tune in every day. But I really, really look forward to seeing these Koreans play. And it would be quite, I would not say embarrassing, but it would be a slight shock to me if these Code A players would actually really be dominating over the Europeans and Americans, because I don't really imagine that right now. I do believe that the top of Code S is better, but it would surprise me if these guys are really like one step above. But yeah, nevertheless, you never know. I really look forward to seeing so.
Squirtle is playing tomorrow, though, last game of the day.
Oh, I guess he has plenty of time, seeming, of course, IEM is the 1st of March is the first day?
Yeah, that is correct, from the 1st till the 5th.
Yep. And I kind of wonder, the schedule seems very drawn out. What was the thought behind that? Can you comment on that at all? Like, I think there's 3 matches on stream or so a day?
Well, the first 2 days with the group stages, we have quite some games. But after that, yeah, it goes a little bit slow. The system works that there are 6 players in the group, and then I believe on day 3 you will see the second spot finisher from Group A will face on the third group, the number 3 finisher from Group B, and the other way around. And those are the only games we have on day 3. Yeah, it's really spread out, but that's just something they decided to do because they want to fill up the action and they don't want to build up a stand at CBIT and then be done in 3 days while the CBIT event still goes on for 2 more days. So that's just the way it is. But the first 2 days there is definitely quite some games, and even afterwards we play best of 5. So with a bit of luck, you still see at least 3-4 hours of Starcraft a day.
If I think back to Gamescom, they had 4 groups of 4, I think.
Yeah, that is correct.
Yeah.
And now we have 2 groups of 6. 12 players instead of 16 players. I don't know. Maybe 4 groups was the perfect fit for StarCraft II. I don't know. I guess we'll see. Of course, if there is if the matches do get drawn out, what can you do? That's one of the problems with StarCraft. Of course, it's competitive. It's great to watch. But a match can last 10 minutes or an hour and 20 minutes if you're, Grubby versus Sarns. Or if you're Giddy, every match lasts 2 hours. But that's a whole different matter altogether.
Yeah, I whispered by a fan who said the other day, he's like, you better make sure that the Muslim recovers in time because I had a nightmare that Goody will be at the IEM finals. Then I said, well, actually if the Muslim doesn't make it, Sokka is the first one to replace him, but if Sokka also can make it, it's going to be Goody. And he's like, no, that can't be. And now when he saw that Sokka is replacing the Muslim already, he's like, alright, from now on your task is make sure nothing bad happens to Sokka ever.
Yeah, well, it would be bad if Saki didn't get his visa, like everybody else.
How is he not going to get his visa?
Yeah, I know, because he's German.
Okay, well, I get the joke, but I'm sure no one else did in chat. Of course, the event is in Germany. Sokka is German, so he shouldn't have no problem actually getting there. And as much as I think Goody is awesome, if we have another game like in the European Championship, there will be some slash risks going around.
Yeah, nevertheless, there was something else I wanted to say before you mentioned that, and now I kind of forgot about it. Oh yeah, the thing is that the global finals have always this layout because they have to be very. It's like a season which is entirely planned with 2 Americans, 4 Asians, 4 Europeans, and that's just the way it is. While the global finals or the global challenge, which Mara won at Gamescom, that's just an invite tournament. So yeah, that's run very differently. This setup has been made already way before, and it will probably be the same season, the next season, and the same before, because it was the same in Warcraft 3 already, and they always used this qualification system and then the 12 players at the global final, so that's not going to change, I guess.
I see. Well, we'll see how it works out here for StarCraft II. I am definitely looking forward to the coverage, so I hope you definitely have a blast there, man.
Well, I did hear that I have to be there every day at 7, so that means I have to wake up at 5 or something like that, but nevertheless, I do think it's going to be a really awesome event. I mean, it will be the first time that I cast with Day 9, which is pretty cool, because I had quite some whispers on Battle.net of people calling me the Day 9 of Warcraft 3. I don't know what that was all about, but no, I think it's nice to have like one commentator who really has a Brood War past, and then me, who's the total opposite, didn't barely play Brood War at all, but obviously I know almost everything about the Warcraft 3 players, and also I know quite a lot about the European scene, while he knows a lot about the American one, so I think it's going to be really cool, and of course having Dario there, who knows pretty much everything about every race, so I think it's going to be awesome, honestly.
The Professor StarCraft player, pretty much, Dario, he pulls up some sick stuff, man. I watched his games of Assembly, of course, I casted that. I gotta say, he has some funky builds. So if somehow he makes everything work, so he must have some sick sense there. There's got to be something crazy going on there. Regardless,
it's a shame that he didn't qualify, but I'm really looking forward to him casting. I don't think we've ever heard him cast before, so.
He was supposed to cast, of course, the European Championship, got sick and didn't, so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, And then I had Nama to cast some games with me, who didn't want to talk at all. It was so funny, because Nama was like, Roti, I really want to cast some games with you. I'm like, alright, are you sure? But you don't have to, man, you have to be sure that you're not shy or something. No, I want to cast games. Alright, Nama, let's go. And then we start playing, and he's like, yeah. And then I'm like, Nama, and he's like, And he's just staring at the screen, and I'm like, alright. Then after the best of 3, I'm like, hey, is it okay if Cloud does the next one? He's like, yeah, I had enough of casting. It's pretty funny.
I actually got to cast with Nama at EPS Nordic Finals at DreamHack. That was quite an experience as well. I can definitely relate with what you're saying.
You can just look at him, and then you're like waiting for the moment that he talks, and then he just doesn't talk. He looks at you like, what up? What do you want me to do?
It's like he turns casting into a staring contest. Basically, you're looking at him, and it's like, okay, you now go, like, jump in. No, okay, well then I'll go, and then.
Yeah, then I go after an awkward silence of a few seconds.
You really awkward grunt every so often.
Yeah, but he's a great guy. I like Nama a lot. He's very funny.
He's a blast. He's one of my favorites, I gotta say. He's, well, just personality-wise to hang out with. That said, actually, it's enough of that for now. I think one of the biggest announcements, of course, I think, well, if you ask In Control, it's one of the biggest announcements ever. The NASL, North American Star League. I think we all saw the announcements, so really there's not much we'll go into that. But Folon, you had some comments. Can we start off with that?
Well, kind of, if you've read the posts by Tyler and by Nazgul, I'm kind of in that same corner where we're just all really healthy skeptics, and we're wondering why there's a 5-player cap, you know, on the or 5 players from one team cap on the what's it called, like the amount of people that can participate in NASL or NASL from one team, and I don't know, it like on one, like the first thing is that I have the same kind of questions that, you know, Nazgul and Tyler said, and you know, it's a very weird number as well.
Us, a basic idea of what they've been saying.
Okay, so basically, if you want to participate in NASL, which is the North American Star League or Starcraft League, I'm not even sure.
NASL, by the way.
NASL, yeah. So you have to be on a sponsored team, and for some reason, one sponsored team can only send 5 people, which is kind of a weird number because an ideal team has at least 6 people, so that you can practice every matchup within your team. So that's like, but that's like a minor issue. The weird thing is that like Team Liquid is a team that has 6 or 7 guys on it, and they can only send 5. So they're gonna have to tell one guy, you know, dude, we're sorry, but you're gonna have to stay home, which is, you know, super weird. I don't think they have qualifiers either. It's some kind of invitation.
There's like
system.
they were talking about some kind of 1,024 player, you know, knockout system wherever only the top finisher would actually get a spot or something, which is
But yeah, I'm kind of anxious to ask Maven what Mouse perspective on this is, because contrary to In Control's belief that there is only 3 players on Mouse, one of which is Naniwa, there's actually a lot more players on Mouse, and I think that most of them would be, you know, good enough to compete in the NASL. So like, do you have any?
Well, the thing is, right now, we only got 5 that I would say qualify. We have, wait, maybe 6. Moro, Nama, Strelok, Asu, and Nama. Is that 6 of? I can't even count. 1, 2, 3.
That was 5.
4, 5. All right, that's no, that's 6. That's 6. Nama, Maven has no. Nama Mana has Swabs, Strelok. Oh, Nama has 2 accounts. That's why. God damn it, I was fueled. But yeah, all right. So we do have 5 that I would think go through. Who would go? We did pick up 2 new guys, but they're not quite there yet. So I don't know.
Okay, so well, if you pick up 2 guys, you have 7 guys. So like, how do you feel about only being able to send 5 in?
Well, I'm just gonna say I'm just a caster, so.
Still.
But
Still.
But the thing is, I actually like the idea. I like that you can only have 5 per team, because even if you have like a total team of whatever, if you're only focusing on those 5 or concentrate on that one, then the other ones can focus more on something totally different. I mean, if you have a team who's really good, like Liquid, can have some guys who go to Korea and 5 guys that go to NSL. So you really don't. I think it's a good idea.
Wait, you think it's a good idea to split up your team and like have 3 guys in one country and 3 guys at the other end of the world?
So they can dominate all tournaments all at once.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you have. Didn't you listen? I mean, if you think about it, you have players in the States, you have players in the Asia, Korea, GSL. At the same time, you're basically covering 2 places with your players. And doesn't that sound a lot better than having all your team in one place?
I gotta disagree respectfully. If I were with my team,
I'm not sure,
want
but
that's
like not even the issue.
I would want my whole team focused on one tournament, one event. This is what they need to practice for. This are their deadlines. This is when they have matches. That would be my focus personally. I wouldn't want it to be all over the place and make it just a lot harder on yourself to actually get organized and get practice done.
Like, if one guy says, I want to stay in Europe and win Craft Cup every Wednesday, like, that's fine, but that's not what we're talking about. The fact that we're talking about, like, if there are 7 players that want to play, then 2 of them can't. And, what are they going to do? It's just I think it's a very weird rule that in that they try to make sure, or reduce the chances that 2 players or 2 teammates have to play each other. And
well, it's not that much of a problem, but yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, that's no, that's pretty much it. I think that's I don't know. It's a kind of a silly reason. Like Tyler wrote a whole diatribe on the whole issue that I think is more insightful than I can express it. But I don't know. That's like the one thing that I find weird.
And basically, also just encouraging teams to not expand their roster. You're encouraging teams to keep it to 5 players and not recruit new talent. So new talent will have to find new teams, or new teams will have to switch over to have to pick up a Starcraft II roster just to be involved.
All right, look.
I'm not sure why they don't have just have a open qualifier.
All right,
like they do for GSL.
All right,
and for TSL.
Okay, I'm gonna shove something in your mouth. Basically, they're not saying, all right, we're just gonna push everything out. People can only have 5 team rosters, but they are saying that they're only having 5, which means that 2 of the other guys are free to do whatever they want in Europe or Korea. Because if you're gonna focus on NASL, you're probably
Dude, thanks for joining our team. You are now free to do whatever you want.
Yeah, go travel across the ocean to another continent and go play there instead.
Alright, you can say that. You can be totally douche about it and say, oh, fuck you can do whatever you want, you join our team. Or you can say, alright, we're gonna send you to all the lands in Europe while the other players are in the NASL. Why? Because it's good.
Why is that good?
I don't see anything, because those in the NASL can focus on the MLG events in the States, and the other ones in Europe can focus on the European events, and Dohu in Korea. I don't see the problem. I really don't.
I think the problem is just that why? There's just no better reason. Yeah. Sure, if you want to keep players in Europe, then let them in Europe, but why are you forcing teams to have people in Europe? I must say I didn't really understand the rule either, but I'm not very upset about it either, but I just don't really see the extreme purpose in it. And I can understand that if you are Tyler and you have a look at your teammates that you don't like the rule. But on the other hand, I don't know. I don't think it's like a super big deal.
Yeah, like in practice, it probably won't even mean anything. Like there probably will not be a team that's willing to send more than 5 players. I don't know, like
Liquid
overseas or cross country.
would be the real fit to do it right now. But yeah.
No, they want to keep their players in Korea, for what I know.
For now, but if you consider
I don't know,
MLG
for now, but-
and Nasal is going on, at some point it might be more profitable to be in the US.
Maybe.
Especially because I think they were talking about some kind of rule regarding limiting the amount of Korean players as well, which was something that was up for consideration.
They're not going to
Quite
have any
clear.
Korean.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah,
Let's
it's-
not have any now.
I don't
That's
know.
weird.
I don't think so.
They're
I think
like-
that's what they said.
That's a little bit of racism.
It's messed up. Like, oh, Europeans are welcome. Americans, yeah, join up. One all. Have a blast. Come hang out. Unless you're Korean, then you're not allowed.
It's like Korea is like GSL and everyone is coming over, and then we host a league in America and we're like, no, you guys are not welcome. What is this?
It's kind of weird. They're like, well, we're not GSL, we're Nasal, so we don't want like 50 Koreans playing. And then they're like, and then they have no limit on the amount of Koreans, and now they do. Like, I'm not sure what's going on there.
I think this is something that haven't really worked out yet. This is one of those afterthoughts where they're like, oh wait, we should probably have some kind of regulation for that. Regardless,
Yeah.
the concept of the of Nasal, as we'll call it, is, I think, an encouragement to esports as a whole. To have Nasal or an event like it in North America, which has been dying for good esports events outside of MLG, it is great.
Yeah, well.
No, maybe. I
We'll
think
see.
it's a
We'll
good
see.
concept, at least.
Healthy skeptics.
That's it. Our next topic, of course, of this show is going to be Naniwa and his leaked patch notes. Ooh, controversy abound. It's actually funny because I had seen the patch notes from several sources before, and so when I saw them from Naniwa, I was like, oh, that don't most people notice. So it was kind of interesting for me, and I knew that right away it was true. Those were indeed handed down as possible patch notes. Regardless, I think we can definitely say that this was not the most clever move by Naniwa. And I wonder what kind of trouble he's going to get in after it's been made public that he posted that to other people. Maven, any thoughts?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
Maven can
I
say
hope-
something because after all, Nani was on his team.
Isn't Naniwa
well,
Dignitas?
Yeah,
What did I
he was
miss?
just actually, it was In Control who said
we're
mouse
poking fun of
players
In
such
Control
as
trolling
Mana and Naniwa. So he actually thought Naniwa was in mouse. But either way, so basically I think, of course it was a really, really stupid thing to say, but I really hope that they're just not gonna do anything to him. I just hope they're gonna say like, right, we're not gonna give him any info because of this, and nothing at all. The worst case scenario is that he is gonna be banned. I mean, I really don't see that happening. I hope don't. But it was a stupid mistake to link it. But I mean, if they didn't, we wouldn't have anything to talk about now. So thanks.
True enough. Thank you, Naniwa, for making our show this much more interesting. That said,
I feel that
go ahead.
I missed this entire topic, honestly, and normally I know everything around Naniwa. So what exactly happened? He linked patch notes, or what's going on?
Basically, Blizzard sent an email to several pro players with suggested patch changes. They're like, okay, we're looking into this, and so. And then apparently Naniwa posted it to someone, and someone was a jackass enough, and I will say that you're a jackass for doing that, man. whomever it was decided to link that on a pasties.org page, so now everyone can see what Naniwa said in regards to the patch changes.
And is it sure that guy is like a Naniwa friend? Because aren't those things easy to set up, and could Naniwa get screwed over, or is it really for sure?
That is a very good point, and I hadn't even considered that. So
did Naniwa give any statements regarding this situation, or?
You know what? I don't think he has.
Might be worth waiting for one.
Said anything.
I mean, it's always easy to create another scandal around Naniwa, but sometimes
you gotta feel bad for him.
Well, yeah, perhaps.
That said,
actually, these patch notes aren't even like Day9 would call them not juicy. Like they're not.
No, they're not.
Really?
I don't know.
Well, I mean, the fungal growth stages are pretty mind blowing, and the stim. Look at the stim. Is it stim in here? Yeah, there is. The research time increased by 30 in-game seconds. Ouch!
And there's some stuff like they want to reduce the bailing build time by 10. They want to make EMP a freaking upgrade. I mean, come on.
That sounds very reasonable to me.
Yeah, you can
bastard.
go build a colossi somewhere.
Can someone forward that link to
stuff like upgrades? Like stuff like upgrades, it's like they work on a timing, you know, that you need to have them completed at a certain point in the future or at a certain point in your build at which you need it. So builds are just gonna adapt to, you know, incorporate that stuff. But it's not like it's not.
But it's still like ghosts cost so stupidly amount of minerals and gas already. They cost more than a tank to build. And they're gonna come out with nothing at all.
Snipe.
So,
dude,
yeah,
have you used Snipe?
Have you seen what Snipe do against Protoss Army when they do not have Templars?
Oh.
Well, I mean, for TVZ, fine, I can have a upgrade in TVC, but in TVP, hell no!
Dude, there's nothing more rewarding than hearing Snipe go off in a game, man. It's like pew 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 pew, and you're like, yes,
for the Zerg,
everything's dead.
For the Zerg, right? No, for the Zerg, because he's like, oh, the stupid ass guy went ghosts. I'm gonna win this easily. 300 Zerglings with one button. Let's go.
This is actually, sorry to interrupt you guys, it's actually pretty funny. I'm reading them right now, and I see that the reason why they want to make EMP upgrades is because apparently some EMP push is too strong. Like, honestly, what on earth EMP push are they talking about? Like, I struggle quite...
It's not... It's
no,
not a push.
There's an EMP push, but it was used in the beta.
It's an attack.
I've seen it done twice. I've seen it done twice, and that's it.
I mean, I struggle quite a bit against, like, if I play against really good Terrans, but an EMP push is something I don't really fear that badly. Like, how can it ever be, like, in time and also be good enough? I don't really see the point at all.
There's probably, like, stuff going on in the gold leagues that we're unaware of, but it's, like, completely brutal, and it's fucking up Starcraft II, man.
It was pretty funny.
If you read it, it says, we're getting quite a few reports from pro players that the early EMP push is too strong.
I wanna talk to those pro players. Just a second.
Yeah, I really want to know who they are.
I want to dare you guys. Like, I want to ask you guys or the chat to name one pro game in which we have a early EMP push.
Yeah,
I seriously cannot remember one.
Watch some TLO game. I bet there's somewhere.
Okay, well, TLO's done everything. That doesn't count.
Yeah, but this is not the first time I heard it, because I remember the Muslim lost the game against Whitera, and then he sent an email straight away to David Kim complaining about Colossi and Sentry.
Ben, you are so gold.
And then he got a reply from David Kim. Oh, really? We actually heard it's the other way around. Apparently the new ghost push is really strong. And we just both started to laugh like so hard. Like, I whine quite a bit about Terran, but a ghost push is like the last thing I would whine about. So I don't understand this at all.
I mean, it certainly is some like low level push that is insanely strong because there's like they don't know how to use a force field.
I think I'm just gonna try it out like after the show, and while we still can.
I know, right?
Maybe perhaps you should try ghost push against me. If it works, we know it's really rigged.
No, I'm gonna play standard and I'm gonna beat the shit out of you.
I gotta say though, the most awkward choice to me is a fungal. 50% more damage versus armored. Suddenly it's gonna not shut down dropshipping completely anymore. They'll be slowed instead of stunned. But still, it's gonna do a lot of damage to those dropships.
It's kind of weird because fungal is usually used as a spell with which you stall for time, and you get more units because you're Zerg.
Or you kill all the marines that exist on the map.
Well, marines are like the only thing that maybe dies from fungals, but like nothing else. It's just a slow down speed spell, and I don't know. Now it might become a damage spell. I'm not sure. We'll have to see.
Yeah, I think it would be pretty good against big group amounts of Blink Stalkers. Nevertheless, I think the extra damage would pay off. But what I'm even more surprised about is this change to Corruptus. So right now Corruptus are not even the ultimate counter anymore to Colossi. That will make the life of Protoss players a bit better, no?
Yeah, later, and Vikings are gonna have a tough
because it's
time.
hard. It's hard being Protoss right now.
I don't think that
it?
Vikings are gonna have much of any trouble with Corruptor still. So I don't see that much of a buff. I think it's quite a nerf.
Yeah, like +6 to the from massive to +4 to armored. Okay, they do a little bit more to Void Razor right now, but they do less to Colossi. And if you just go Colossi with mass Blink Stalkers, but perhaps then Fungal is good again against the Blink Stalkers. We'll see. Might be interesting actually.
Yep. I gotta say, the bunker increase time, can they just stop messing with the bunkers or make a serious change? Because I'm sick of the build time increasing, decreasing. It's like I don't know what the hell they want to do with those. Like, take them out of the game if you're not sure. I mean, just
No.
make up your minds already.
Let's just put marines in turrets.
Hey, there you go.
Yeah, please. Give me an upgrade that allows me to put some marines into the turrets, man. That'd be awesome.
I can see now stemmed turrets.
No, the flame turret from the campaign. Give me some of those.
Who knows? And another thing, the bailing time, decreasing it from 20 to 10. It's not like, okay, let's take it from 20 to 18. Small change. No, let's cut it in half. Just grab an axe, cut that build time in half. There you go. Super quick bailings. Who thinks up this stuff?
I don't know. I kind of like that for some reason.
You can go to no. It's I think it'll really mess up things because now you actually have to think a little bit before doing bailings. And now when you see a Terran army, oh, he's moving out. Oh, you're here now. Feel the wrath of my banelings. You get smushed. There's
like they'll have banelings. Like doesn't like if they make them in advance, it's not like those 10 seconds are gonna matter a whole lot. What is the matchup in which you need insta banelings?
ZVZ or ZVZ?
Right, so,
yeah.
Yeah, like that's like I'm actually curious as to how much more frantic baneling versus circling fights will be. Because at this point,
ZVZ is going to be even more of a boring matchup, and it's going to be even harder to transition out of just circling bailing.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like sometimes you see these armies clash, and then a few zerglings remain for both players, and they morph like a couple of banelings while they're making zerglings at home, and you can snipe the ags, like you see that happening. But now it's like half the time to snipe those ags, so things are gonna be even more active. Like my head already spins watching that kind of stuff, let alone doing it. So I don't know, that might be interesting.
I guess at least CVZ will be more action packed still, but still, as a competitive player, I kind of cringe when I see changes like this. Because it will just be, a micro wars almost.
Oh, well, lucky I'm not a Zerg player.
Yeah, I felt the same way after the last Go for Starcraft II finals. Now going against Dimaga, seriously, the games were quite one-sided and bad. Moro against Ciara was even worse. Just the final game of Dimaga was pretty good, but other than that, that matchup seems really quite flawed at the moment. Really no fun to observe or play, which I don't think is a very good situation.
Yeah, I'm not allowed to say it because of the assembly finals we casted that, but I'm not much of a fan of ZVZ. They were quite one-sided, let's just put it that way. Because the Swedish players suck.
Thank you.
What was that, Maven?
Stupid
Sorry, I
flying.
couldn't quite hear you.
Stupid flying Dutchman. I think he's good. Roaches everywhere. Upgrades left and right.
I was like poking you. I'm like, oh, come on, say something. And finally you react.
Well, I mean, if Show hadn't tilted against Seni, he would have crushed your little Dutchie.
Oh, I don't know about that, man. I don't know.
Or Naniwa. Either works. Both of them would have crushed your Dutchman.
Naniwa disappointed me a lot against Red, just to jump back to Assembly a little bit.
Yeah.
I expected so much of those series. I was really excited for it, and then the games were like, Proxy and failed Void Ray push. Come on.
It's Void Ray push is something that Naniwa does all the time. I mean, it's practically standard for him. But this proxy play, it's almost like he didn't even try. He's like, okay, I'm just gonna cheese. Like he gave up beforehand. Like he knew that he was up against an opponent which was way better than him, and he's like, well, I'm just gonna cheese and take my chances. That's what it felt like.
I think he probably was really convinced for himself that Red would open hedge first, and then his strategy would be fairly good. But since Red didn't do that, it's like almost suicide. It cannot work unless the Zerg player does something wrong. But obviously Red won't do something wrong. So yeah, it's just, I mean, he took a gamble, but quite a wrong one, and on quite a bad moment as well.
Yep, definitely. Well, with that, we are going to wrap the show up for today. Rotterdam, it has been a pleasure to have you here. I hope to hear more from you soon, and good luck at IEM, man. Make it a spectacle that we can enjoy.
Yeah, thanks a lot, and it was fun to chit chat with you guys a little bit. So I'll definitely keep an eye on the show, and see you guys later or the other time.
Okay, Maven, any last words?
I might have.
Yes.
First of all, Swedes are better than Dutchmen. I just want to get that out there. And then, Naniwa would have totally squashed the Dutchman, whatever. And obviously check out IEM. I think I can say that Ghost of Gamers will probably cover some of the group stages. So, if you want to see some of the games that, of course, Rotterdam won't be casting, just check that out. Not to take any viewers from you, Rotterdam, because you're the man, but,
No, all good. The more coverage, the better, man. The more games that people can say, the better it is. Everyone always has their favorite players and favorite matchups, so I think it's only good if we have streamers on the side as well.
Awesome. Folon, as the Liquipedian superhero, last words go to you, man.
I actually have a couple of things.
Oh, go!
No, actually, I think that 2 minutes ago the Close Combat Cup started, and it's actually being casted by Day 9, as well as Keldor, I think. But, you should probably tune into that because Day 9's awesome. I want to say good luck to Rotterdam because IEM should be very good. So, I'll definitely be watching. I think that at 10 o'clock I might be playing a grudge match, but I'm not sure.
Dude. Team Liquid staff tournament? What?
Wait, is that tonight as well?
I don't know, but it's on Liquipedia, like on Liquibets, and I'm like, what the hell? I know Folon. I'll bet on him, and I chill there, so
dude,
get a vote for him as well. But
there's a staff tournament going on. It's like 16 players and a bit or something, and they're streaming. preliminaries. I don't know, during this week, I think. So, you know, if you can catch that, you can see your favorite, you know, Team Liquid staff people, you know, have it at each other, etc.
As long as
So,
you know, I bet on you for to win your next match. So if you don't
thank
win
you.
it,
Thank you.
expect hell next show.
And in like further peripheral news, there's a whole bunch of people from Israel watching this for some reason. So shout out to them, because that is awesome.
That is pretty awesome.
I know.
Awkward.
But yeah, that's
All
it
right.
for me. So
Let's wrap it up. I want
Yep.
to eat my tacos, man. Tacos.
I want to go to
Let's go.
my soccer match, man. So there we go. We'll leave it up. Last notice, of course, once again, the 1v1 Cup, sponsored by LowlandLions, is coming up the 26th of March. So check out LowlandLions.com. You can find it there. First place prize is €100 and a PC 360 headset, which is about a €200 headset. I'm wearing one right now, actually. So awesome headset. And
I don't even have a headset. I have a webcam. I feel so poor right now.
Aww. Well, I heard it until recently you guys didn't even internet, so
Actually, we do have internet right now since a few days.
finally, yeah.
But Ben has been downloading lots of movies already. I guess you can figure out which one.
Can he? Wait, he
how?
jumped to
With
the
what
left
wrist?
again.
I mean, he's got a broken wrist. He can't. Oh, wait.
One is enough.
One hand to rule them all.
Regardless, man. Ben, we loved you. I hope you get better soon, man. And that said, I hope you get soon again next week. That will be a 9 o'clock, same time as usual. So see you guys then.